Hey guys, so my name's Ethan and I read The Time Machine.
Great Scott, I just came from the year 802,701. I gotta get back home.
Well, that was The Time Traveler from H.G. Wells' 1895 novel, The Time Machine. It's a 98-page science fiction book and was awarded the Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation. The story starts from the perspective of the unnamed narrator. Him and other people of important professions visit weekly dinner parties where the time traveler shows his invention of the time machine. He explains how the fourth dimension is time and can be moved up through like you can move through space. At one of his dinner parties, the time traveler arrives very late and is covered in dirt and looks like a complete mess. For almost the rest of the story, the time traveler is sharing his experience in the future with the men. He traveled to the year 802,701 and met the evolution of humans called the Eloi, where they have completely eradicated any threat to humanity and have degressed into smaller, weaker, and less intelligent humans. There's another species called the Morlocks, which beastly beings that live underground and eat off the Eloi. He thinks the Eloi are the evolution of the rich and wealthy class, and the Morlocks are the evolution of the poor, working class. The Morlocks steal the time machine, and the time traveler has to outsmart them to escape. When he escapes, he jumps millions of years in the future, where he witnesses massive beasts during the end of the Earth. The sun is much larger, and the Earth's rotation is slowing down. He then travels back to his own time, where he arrives at the dinner party late. The narrator then visits the time traveler the next day when the time traveler is going to explore time again. Wells uses a frame story through the majority of the story because it's told from the perspective of the unnamed narrator who listens to the time traveler's story about his journey to the future. I relate it to the Heart of Darkness because it's one smaller character telling the story of the main character. Irony is present in the time machine, where the time traveler arrives to his own dinner party late. He can travel to any point in time, but he's still late. The irony is even deeper in this moment because he's trying to convince the men that time travel is possible and real, but he doesn't show up to his own dinner party on time. The time machine has many suspenseful moments, from when he's traveling through time and doesn't know where he's going to end up, to when the Morlocks steal his time machine, and the time traveler has to quickly put in the levers to travel through time, and they're doing that as the Morlocks is grabbing at him and trying to kidnap him. In the time machine, the theme of the division of powers among social classes is very present. The Eloi represent the rich, as they're childish and have low attention spans, and they wear robes and don't really do much for society. And the Morlocks represent the working class, as they're savage, cannibalistic beasts who need to fight for their survival. The relationships represent the fight for power in 19th century England, as the poor get what they can and scrape by, and the rich sit around and live luxurious lives. Here's the excerpt from a book that I want to read. At this moment, the time traveler is wondering how the Eloi have progressed into smaller, weaker, less intelligent beings the farther into the future. I thought of the physical slightness of the people, their lack of intelligence, and those abundant ruins, and it strengthened my belief in a perfect conquest for nature. For after the battle come quiet. Humanity had been strong, energetic, and intelligent, and had used all of its abundant vitality to alter the conditions under which it lived. And now came the reaction of the altered conditions. Wells uses many analogies to show the viewpoints of 19th century England in his novel. Communism is a growing ideology, and people are juggling with the idea of creating a utopia, which could lead to a dystopia. And the time machine attempts to show what could happen in the future if that is achieved. I recommend The Time Machine to those who like science fiction, mind-blowing concepts, ideas of utopias and dystopias, are interested in what the future could hold, adventure, and the battles of a classless society. So that's The Time Machine, and here's my little model of what the time machine would have looked like. There's a big clock in the back, there's a chair, and there are the levers that he used, that he put in barely to escape the Morlocks. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of based on the 2002 movie rendition of the book The Time Machine, so that's my book.